Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is, I think, day 20 or day 30 of the quarantine. Hair's getting long, beard's getting scruffy. You can kind of tell I'm having a lot of time on my hands to post some videos for you guys. But if this is your first time dropping by, my name is Vinny, and today we're gonna be talking about this watch right here. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So if you guys have been around, you probably know this was my first luxury watch that I purchased. This is a Rolex Explorer. Reference date 214270. This is a 2019, dated November 2019. Let's see if it focuses there, I don't know. This camera doesn't do a very good job of focusing, but we'll drop into a closer view here in a second. So a little bit history about this watch. This was originally built in 1953, and this was given to I believe a crew of expedition explorers who were climbing Mount Everest. So that's kind of where this watch became famous and well known. Let's go ahead and dive in closer and let's talk about my ownership review and what I think about this piece so far. All right, so here's a closer look at it. This, of course, is the 39mm Mark II version. I didn't realize this when I first bought this, but there was a Mark I version. I guess the 39mm was upgraded in 2016. The Mark I version had smaller minutes hands. They were shorter. I don't know if you could see it on this one here. It's a little bit harder to see. The Mark I had shorter minute hands and second hands, and also the 9, 3, and 6 were not filled with lume. So when it got dark, the 9, 3, and 6 would not light up with that vibrant color from the lume, illuminated lumes. So, of course, the 9, 3, and 6 and the hour markers are cased in white gold, and this is a really nice black dial. This watch feels and wears similar to a 40mm watch, I would really say. The casing is quite wide, however it's only 11mm in thickness. So it's actually a super comfortable watch. I'd say it's my most comfortable watch, and I have the Explorer 2 and the Submariner as well. But yeah, just because the size of it, as far as how slim it is, it makes it extremely comfortable. Let's go ahead and clean this off. The polished bezel here is really prone to fingerprints. So if I touch it, the camera tends to focus on the fingerprints. So as you can see, there are some scratches on it. I have been wearing this quite a bit. Full polished oyster bracelet, of course, on both sides. The double lock clasp, and of course the 5mm Easy Link. So pop that out, you get 5mm extra. Pop it back in, tighten it up by 5mm. Super easy. And the lug to lug width from here to here is 47.5. So here, I'll put it on here for you guys. You'll see that it honestly wears incredible. This is my favorite daily piece. And the reason why is because you can really fly under the radar with this watch. The bezel doesn't stand out like a ceramic Submariner or GMT, or like, let's say, a Hulk. I mean, those watches you could spot from across the street, especially a Hulk or a Pepsi. But this, you can really be in pretty dense areas and no one really knows you have a Rolex on, which I think is the big selling point of this piece, because, you know, you don't always want to have people know what you're wearing, especially for, you know, it just depends on events. If you go into the city and things like that, I've heard of some really horror stories of people in London having their watches stolen. So things like this, they don't catch your eye if you're on the subway or if you're on BART, if you're here in the Bay Area. So that's really nice about it. But also, it's just so simple. Can't really go wrong with it, right? There's no date functionality, so you just kind of pick this up, put it on and wear it, right? Super easy. Like I said, it makes a great daily if you don't care about the date functionality. But again, if you do like the date, then go with the Datejust. However, just know that the Datejust isn't as sporty. It does have that Cyclops, and of course, it's a little bit more easy to spot out, so it's not as under the radar as the Explorer 1 is. So just keep that in mind. Now, I posted recently in a Facebook group of people that own this watch, and I asked them to send me their photos of what it looks like with other bracelets on. So I'll go ahead and shoot some photos up on the screen. But here's what it looks like, obviously, with the oyster bracelet, which this comes standard on it. And I love the oyster bracelet. I think you can't go wrong with the oyster bracelet. However, I am thinking about putting an Everest leather strap on this. Sometimes a black leather band might go better with the outfit. That's another nice thing about this piece, is that it's so customizable as far as with your outfits. I mean, if you do take off this oyster bracelet, it really does look good with the countless number of other bracelets out there. So it's just extremely versatile. You know, my honest opinion about this watch is I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I first bought it. Again, I walked into the AD, he happened to have one of these for me brand new, and you know, it's one of those things, Rolex, you kind of get it there or wait X amount of months, years, until you see this piece again brand new without paying a premium. So, you know, I picked it up and I wasn't in love with it at first, but man, it has totally grown on me. This is not going to be leaving the collection anytime soon. Again, for those days you don't want to stand out, which is most days, this is your go-to piece. So I'm going to give you guys a shot of what this looks like when there's low lighting, so you can see what color the looms light up as and how it looks. Now, I never film my videos at night, so it's really hard to truly get the lighting, but here you go. That's what it should look like, and they say it's good for about 8 hours. I've never tested it out, so I can't tell you, but in low lighting, there you are. So kind of recap this video, again, this is the 39mm Mark II version Explorer. Look, this watch is perfect for anyone who wants a Rolex, wants a sport model that you can dress up, that you can dress down. Looks good on a lot of bands, as you've seen throughout the video. I've posted photos. Also wants to be a little under the radar, because again, sometimes you don't always want to wear a gold watch, especially if you're going to be going to the city in some areas where, or at least traveling. I recently took this watch to Vegas. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Guess what? It was super under the radar, and I think that's what really is an awesome part about this watch. But also, I was also shopping a little bit. There was a couple watch stores there, but I also went into Cartier, and the sales guy there knew exactly what I was wearing. So to the right people, they know what watch this is. But to everybody else, they have no clue, and that's what's super charming about this piece. So if you've been thinking about getting this watch and you're on the fence about it, well, I hope this review kind of helps a little bit, right? At least from my point of view. If there's any questions that you want to ask me specifically about this, or any questions in general, just leave a comment below and I'll be sure to reply. If you guys could, please like the video. It helps me tremendously, especially with the YouTube algorithm and getting my name out there. It helps so much, more than you guys know. And of course, if you could, please subscribe. It helps me so much. I'm trying to get that subscriber count up and up. We've had so many new people join the community this last 2 weeks. I've been posting a lot. I think we've had about 100 new subscribers, so far so good. So with that being said, please do subscribe. It helps me so much. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Until then.